The U.S. Census, presented by Citizen Genius. The U.S. Census refers to the official counting of the U.S. population every 10 years. The first census was taken in 1790, and the population was just short of 4 million. The results of all the other censuses are scrolling across the screen. You can pause the video to see the numbers more clearly. The most recent census was conducted in 2010, and the total resident population was nearly 309 million. This number includes every person living in the 50 states, Washington, D.C., and Puerto Rico. The census is required by the U.S. Constitution according to Article 1, Section 2. More specific rules explaining how the census is conducted are expressed in Title 13 and Title 26 of the U.S. Code. The census is conducted by the Census Bureau, which is part of the Commerce Department. Every 10 years, each household in the U.S. receives a form that must be completed and returned to the government. The 2010 census form is shown on the screen. It asked 10 questions, such as, how many people were living or staying in this house, apartment, or mobile home on April 1, 2010? As a side note, the Census Bureau gathers more detailed information about the population in addition to the census. The American Community Survey is given to a small percentage of households every year. Participation in the census is required. If the census form is not returned to the government, the Census Bureau will first call the household, then make a personal visit if necessary. If the form is still not returned, the household can be fined up to $100. If the form is completed with false information, there is a $500 maximum fine. Answers on the census form are confidential. By law, an individual's information cannot be shared with the public or with other government agencies such as the FBI. The census serves many purposes, but the primary constitutional purpose is to help with a process called apportionment. Apportionment refers to the distribution of the 435 seats in the House of Representatives among the 50 states based on each state's population. Here's how it works. On this sample apportionment map, a pink dot represents one seat in the House. States with multiple pink dots have multiple seats, which means that states on the East Coast generally have higher populations than states out west. However, because the population of each state changes over time, a new census is taken every 10 years to account for the changes. After the new census, the apportionment map is wiped clean. Then the 435 seats are reapportioned. This new fictional sample apportionment map shows that the populations of the western states grew while the East Coast states shrank. For a more detailed explanation of the apportionment process, please check out another video. There are many uses of the census information in addition to apportionment. Here are some examples of other uses by the federal, state, and local governments. The census data is also used by businesses, community groups, and individuals. This has been a short overview of the U.S. Census presented by Citizen Genius.